What's up?
Welcome.
Welcome to the news. Pete,
You know the drill.
that's right. You know the drill. Pete and
And if you
Monique
don't, get out.
here. Scott Chestnut, Summer Horsegrave, unavailable. They're out. I guess they flew out to some exotic location to shoot the award show for the WAGMEs.
Oh, right.
It's all pre-filmed. None of it's live. It looks live, but it's not.
But then
Trust me.
I heard they're gonna follow that up with bringing their baby Epsilon Starfire on a spiritual retreat, and the baby's gonna go on a pilgrimage to, find out his true name. So that'll be exciting.
Look forward to hearing about that when they get back.
And so we're just here filling in.
Yeah, we got a great show though. We got NFT Rescue, we got Snapbrillia, and we're gonna be chatting with them in a minute. We got some great nonsense questions as well, so I'm really excited about the nonsense.
Thank you to our assistant ChatGPT for upping our nonsense game.
That's right. You can't believe the kind of weird questions it comes up with, and we're going to share some.
The internet is a weird place, and ChatGPT is very connected to the internet, so it only makes
Except
sense.
it's not actually connected to the internet.
The internet is its
2 years ago.
Not connected.
Well, it's got plugins now though that does connect it to the internet, which is pretty rad. It's not perfect,
so it can have more recent knowledge.
Man, but fast forward a few years,
a couple months,
fast forward a decade.
Think about how
it's 10 years old. What will it be like?
We didn't have any of this 6 months ago.
No. Everything's going to change again. Keeps happening. That's what they say. So what's how you doing, Tyler?
I've been doing good. Same old. I submitted a Catalyst proposal, so we'll see how that goes.
First Catalyst proposal.
Can you give us the 2-sentence pitch? What is it?
So I already kind of explained it, I think, to you guys, but so you guys are aware of the old CNFT mag, one of the earlier publications on Cardano. The person who was running that was looking to get rid of it, or looking for someone else to pass it on. Better phrasing. I was already kind of like toying with the idea of doing a 31 weeks sequel, but like people, like rather than the pieces. So like when he hit me up about it, I like jumped on it. So now the proposal is, I've been slowly getting everything ready. And I'm gonna be doing it either way, but the proposal, if it goes through, it'll help kickstart it a little bit better.
Yeah. So. And just make you be able to focus on just that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the great thing about a Catalyst proposal. Yeah. You don't have to like spread yourself as thin. You can be like, okay, I actually have resources for this. And you are the perfect person for that on so many levels. Aesthetically, like you will bring such a, I don't know, like I just feel like you'll bring such a strong look to it that will be above the rest.
No doubt.
Gotta bust out 31 weeks again and like go through that. It's been about 31 weeks. It's been longer than that even.
Cool. So that's live now.
I still have to update it a little. It's proposed, but there's still like a finalizing period. I'm still, this is my first one, so I'm still learning it.
Okay, well you got to go on Cardano over coffee about it.
Yeah.
And just definitely just keep talking about it on the news because we got to make that happen.
Yeah.
When will the voting for that be? Do you have any idea?
I'm not.
Yeah.
We'll follow up in your episode.
Yeah.
If like at the very least, like this run is like a test run to like learn kind of how the whole system works.
There's no downside. Just get a proposal out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we bring in our guest for some nonsense? Yeah.
Fresh.
Right. Well,
Cup of nonsense.
Let's do it. Hey, welcome.
What's up, man?
You're a little lower.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Hey,
we're doing great. Just got our hair done.
There we go.
Yeah, looking fabulous.
All right. Ready to rock.
About to enjoy some absurdities with you guys. I'm very excited to know what these nonsense questions are. Trevor's the only one. I mean, Pete's the only one that knows today.
So I got some real important questions. If you had to replace your hands with anything you wanted, but they couldn't be hands, what would it be?
So
no more hands. It's over.
What would your Edward Scissorhands be?
I don't want to hear you say robot hands.
I was gonna ask.
Tyler already has a pair of robot hands. He's been waiting for the reason he was gonna have to use them.
You know, I'm a huge fan of Chainsaw Man. So probably chainsaws. Why not?
Some Evil Dead action.
Yeah.
He pulled it off. You know.
Right. So we got you down for chainsaws.
All
so
right.
I'll make a
Dibs
note.
on the chainsaw.
Right. I think my my left hand would be a lighter, and I'll let the imagination go with my right hand. But I would say a lighter and a lighter and a roller.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. There you
You
go.
don't have
You'll be
hands. You gotta
set.
keep yourself
Yeah,
busy.
you guys.
Somehow.
That's so true.
A lighter and a flask. There we go. A lighter and a flask. So I would have a lighter in my
That's
left hand, a
smart.
flask on the other. You know, you can use as self-defense. You can enjoy. You can share with your friends.
Yes. I like that. I think I would take some sort of like a flask and a microphone would be fun.
Oh yeah. Microphone? It's pretty good.
Just
Place
karaoke
your hand
everywhere.
with something. Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough call.
Yeah, it is.
You can hang a little amplifier.
Yeah, I was thinking some sort of eating implement would be good.
Yeah, that's why I got the flask. At least I copied him from that. Yeah. All right, so
well, that's
chainsaws.
Good. That was an easy one. I thought we'd take a little more time on that. You guys were ready.
Mhm.
All right. Now, here's another replacement question.
Oh my
If you had to
gosh.
replace your bed with something unconventional, what would it be? No more bed, no mattress. You can't have straw. That's pretty conventional.
Dude, that's easy. I would go for hammock. I love camping in the woods.
It feels kind of conventional to me.
Ah,
I mean, people sleep in hammocks,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
like in ships, you know? Like that's kind of a
Mm.
standard sleeping arrangement.
Can I do sand?
Yeah, I think sand counts, like a sandbox.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. I'm the arbitrator here, so
Yeah, I don't know about a sandbox. At least if there aren't any cats around, I think that would be
we
safe.
do have a couple of cats. That could be trouble. You
They'll just
might
have to
wake up
close
to a
the door.
surprise.
They'll just have to close that door.
I feel like a ball pit might be kind of comfortable.
Yeah,
Ooh,
ball
ball
pit.
pit. That's fun.
Maybe some pudding, you know?
I would go a little bit further than that. I would do one of those skydive machines, you know, that blows
Oh,
the air
yeah.
up.
Oh,
You
gee.
jump right out and you
Loud.
just
You
lay
gotta
there
do
and
it.
just
Headphones,
float. Just
Sounds
float.
good.
That'd be
I would do that.
I could
That
dig
I would
it.
do.
Could dig that. So I didn't mean to stomp on your hammock idea, but I am stomping on that. So if you have another thing to throw out there.
It's two Swiss Family Robinson.
Who do you think, Snapbrillia?
Hey, bud. You got an addition to the
Hey, bud.
show.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Come
deflecting. He's deflecting.
What would your bed be, Desmond?
Yeah, sorry, Pete. What was the question?
Teddy bears.
I was so mesmerized.
We're still on the bed. We got to hear your bed answer.
Oh, my bed
You're trying to
answer.
sleep
You know,
on
I
it.
was
Yeah.
like, well, you can sleep on the floor. I've done that. Bamboo floors are pretty good for the back.
Also conventional.
And then
though,
And then honestly, I considered, what if we can just have like one of those hibernation machines?
yeah,
You
like
know?
stasis
Oh,
pod
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, that's right. You just go in and then wake up in year 3000. Hopefully things are better.
I like that. All right. I'll accept
You
that.
never
one.
know where you're gonna land. That would be a total
Right.
dice roll.
Roll the dice, right?
Okay.
Take
So
me
here's
back.
another
Take
one.
me back. Put me back in.
I got two more questions.
Yeah, take me back.
I got two more. The first one: would you rather have a cloud that rains chocolate follow you everywhere, or sweat maple syrup?
Ooh.
Because you're gonna be sticky no matter what.
Dude, I love chocolate, but it depends on what kind of chocolate. If it's dark chocolate, I'll be like, but unless there's a way to monetize it,
I was just gonna say it's probably way easier to market chocolate rain than it is to market maple sweat.
Yeah,
and the important piece is it follows you, right? It's not raining on you.
but it's ruining everywhere you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna get you at least sometimes.
You build like a contraption.
I'll have like a umbrella.
An umbrella, yeah. You do an upside down
with
umbrella.
a collection device to collect it.
You could sell it.
The sweat is like
you just be sticky all the time with the maple syrup. Imagine that.
Yeah,
I'm like the Rain Man, except it's chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're in a room full of puppies,
Oh yeah,
they would die.
Oh, that's true.
A dog or a cat is probably not good. Good questions.
No,
Good questions.
no.
Okay. Now, final one here. Would you rather be the best player on a team that always loses, or the worst player on a team that always wins?
Oh, this is a good philosophical one. This is pretty philosophical.
Well, if I was the worst player, chances are I'd be just watching the game from the bench. So I would want to be on the team that wins. I want to be on the team that wins, even if I can't play the game.
Yeah, me too, because I'm going to grow from that
Yeah.
more. The other one, I'm not going to grow.
Right.
Like,
that's true too.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because I was like in middle school, I got picked to play basketball, but I was like, I think I was 4.5 feet tall, just hitting about 5 feet tall, but I was like 180 pounds at that height. So I sat on the bench a lot of times, and a friend of mine, or the teacher, said maybe you should look at wrestling. So I looked at wrestling instead, and that was pretty good.
That was the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you learned. So did again.
Body weight slams.
You guys are making a lot of reasonable decisions here,
Yeah.
and that infuriates me.
Well, when confronted with the chaos of,
You got to step your GPT up.
I know it's
Yeah.
not crazy enough.
Yeah.
It's all,
Can you increase the level,
I
or
did from last week.
I
Patrick
like
Chopler.
replacing your hands.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that.
yeah?
Oh yeah, we should ask you our new question.
Oh yeah. We got it. This is our standard new question.
Our old question used to be, "What's in your fridge?" That's over.
That went mainstream.
It's too mainstream.
Yeah.
The new question, but we invented it.
It was us.
The question is, can you tell us about your shoes,
Yeah, tell us what shoes you got,
or show us?
and if you want, show them. Ideally, showing, but
We don't-
telling is good
Like
too.
strip poker.
My shoes are invisible. You can't see them. And apparently, I have a hole in my sock.
Ooh, look at those two.
There you go.
Those are nice.
Amazing.
It's air conditioned.
I got a hole in my sock right now too.
Shoeless.
These are there's a story behind these. These,
Oh, yeah?
if you see the little GD right there,
Uh-huh.
the little GD,
Yeah.
that's a gravity defier. These are gravity defiers. So they're supposed to make you walk lighter on your feet.
That sounds nice.
Do you find that works? Do you feel light?
Does it?
Heather?
It actually does. I hardly feel the shoes on my feet, which is pretty
Oh,
weird.
that's
And
great.
they're like super light. They're
I need
super
that
light.
for
Yeah, exactly. Good walking around shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your story? You got no shoes on.
Oh,
I mean,
look.
you're at the office. You're sitting
They're wingtips, like wingtip
Yeah,
style.
yeah,
What do they call
yeah.
these? They're
I
wingtips.
like
Mine,
that. I like Disco Cowboy.
got some shadow soul
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
going there.
Yeah.
Good. Well, all right. Well, that's some good nonsense. Real good nonsense.
Mhm.
People are looking at me going, what the hell is he showing his shoes on the computer for?
Normal.
It's normal.
Nothing to see here, folks.
Oh
Move on.
yeah.
Let's do the news.
If you got it, flaunt it.
Let's do our special guest. So we're going to welcome you guys as official special guests, not just nonsensors. We're doing it right now. All right, this is the part where we get real serious.
Cut. the crap.
That's right. So leave the crap at the door, guys. But yeah, so thank you guys for joining the show. We're real happy to have you all here. You all been kind of floating around for a long
we've been
time.
friends
We never,
forever.
never made it happen.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
this is great. It's all coming together.
Mm-hmm.
We have some. We'd love to hear the short version of y'all what you guys are up to out there, and then we can discuss.
Yeah, give us the the elevator pitch of what's going on,
what's up.
and then we got some questions we got for you.
Give the 911. All right. Well, we're here for this project that I put together. Give you a little background. It's been in development for about 4 years.
Amazing.
4 years. I have a business management degree with a minor in world economics. I got that in Buenos Aires, Argentina as a dual immersion student.
Cool.
I graduated here in the U.S. in 1985. I graduated in Argentina from actually a university in 1984. So I graduated a university before I graduated high school.
Wow.
And, so it was awesome.
Different path.
Yeah, it was a great experience, but it was 24/7 schooling. I'd come to school here. When it was summer here, I'd be on a 14-hour flight to South America, and the very next day I'd be in school there.
Wow.
It was a back and forth thing. And then there was a very huge civil unrest that happened in Argentina called the Dirty War, which I lived through. And when that occurred, obviously all air transportation, everything got stopped. And living down there in Argentina, I had family, so it was no big deal. I'd have my cousins, my aunts, my uncles. So
Wonderful.
we were able, with one of my uncles, we were on a bus for 4 hours, 2 hours each way, just to try and find a quart of milk. And when we did get that quart of milk, we'd come back, give it to our grandmother, and she would feed the four of us. It was me and three cousins. She would take that quart of milk. She would turn it into butter. She would turn it into cream. She would turn it into milk for some oatmeal that grew in the backyard. It was like, I don't know what it was. But that's how we survived that era. And having that education, I met a gal down there, and we fell in love. She was 5 years older than I was at a nightclub, which all...
how romantic.
It was meant to happen. It was meant to happen. So the nightclubs there start at about midnight. When you leave the nightclub, it's already sunup. So it's pretty fun to be in nightclubs there.
Yeah.
Unlike where I live now, where even the restaurants shut down at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Nothing good to eat here after 10.
Yeah.
So what I did at one time, a friend of mine called me up, and this was 4 years ago, which she is now, her name is Christina Cody. She is now has been my equine ambassador. She handles everything with our horse rescue programs that we have. And 4 years ago, she asked me to
talk about the NFT.
Yeah.
I was like, is he about to talk about the NFTs or actual horses?
Yeah. No, she asked me, hey, at that time I was about getting into NFTs, getting to learn what they were. I was getting involved. I heard a lot of hype about it. And she asked me if there was a way that we can create an NFT, not an NFT in per se, but to photograph her sister's horse, because her sister went through a divorce. She lost the house. She got pretty much evicted out of her house. She lost her house. So she had two horses at the time that she stuck in a trailer, and she was actually living in the horse trailer with her horses.
Wow.
And she had asked me, is there a way that we can raise money to support her horses? Because they're not cheap. They're not cheap. To have a good quality horse support is about 20 grand a year. That's about a salary for most people.
Yeah.
And that includes, housing, veterinaries, whatever else. And hopefully nothing evil or sinister happens to where you have even more expenses on top. So it all started out with raising money for the, and with a business degree, things started evolving. You know, I would sit down and I create a schematic similar to the screen we're looking at with the 4. I started with the 4, then it went to 6, then it went to 8, and then everything just kind of started clicking and coming together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how it was the stepping stone into developing a fundraising program. And then I was told, well, why don't you just shoot for a 501c3 and become a nonprofit and focus just on the horses.
And this was before Cardano even.
Oh yeah, way before, even before Engine. So I wasn't even on a blockchain. I was just barely starting to learn about, you know, crypto and learn about NFTs and all that stuff. And then that's when I started really getting involved with figuring out, okay, how am I going to bring this all together? And I was invested heavily in the Engine token. And I ended up getting an email from one of the Engine marketers, community marketing manager. And he reached out and said, hey, you know, what are you all about? I mean, you're coming in, you're buying our token like crazy. We want to know, what are you about?
Yeah.
And that's when I responded what I was building and putting together. And they go, well, that's very interesting. I'd like to share that, if you don't mind, with a couple of the staff here at Engine. I said, sure, no problem. About maybe 3-4 days later, I get an email wanting to do a Zoom conversation, and where we're on a Zoom. And all of a sudden, at the end of the conversation, after about maybe 2.5 hours, they said, well, you know, we would really love to have a nonprofit on our platform. And what is it that you would need in order to create that? And I told them, I said, everything. Because it's me, myself, and I, and I'm not a tech person per se.
Yeah.
You know, and they offered me everything. And
That's nice.
as time went on, I reached out to an attorney firm. I reached out to accountants to start establishing a 501c3 legally. And time went on to where they wanted me to launch with Ethereum 2.0. Unfortunately, I'm not going to announce that I'm even close to being a nonprofit organization without having the IRS saying, okay, go for it. You're approved.
Yeah, you got to
Don't
make
need
sure
that,
you
bro.
get the paperwork in order.
You got to have that because it not only does it create validity, but it's against the law to fundraise money portraying yourself as a nonprofit entity. They can come down on you. There's legal ramifications for false advertising, all kinds of stuff. And the last thing I needed problems with the IRS. So with that being said, they wanted me to develop the program, get that determination letter before their Ethereum 2.0 launch. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to meet that deadline. And when the nitty gritty hit, or you could say when the shoes hit the pavement, they said, well, we want to launch with 2.0. If you can't get the information or the authorizations that we need in order to proceed, unfortunately, we're going to have to back out of the deal. So they backed out of the deal. And it just crushed me. It crushed me. I mean, I was all excited that I finally got a development team that can put it together. But then when they backed out, it crushed me. At that point, I was invested in 4 Bitcoin. I believe the Bitcoin at that time was about 46,000. And I sold those 4 Bitcoin and I went all in on Cardano. And why I chose Cardano was because of Charles's podcast. You know, Charles, his demeanor, when I found out that obviously he has a ranch, you know, somewhere, I think Wyoming or Montana or whatever, it kind of clicked because in Argentina, I grew up on a cattle ranch. And that's how I'm familiar playing with horses and all kinds of livestock. So seeing him involved in that same arena, I felt a connection. And that's when I sold 4 Bitcoin and went into Cardano, and Cardano was like 280.
Well,
so yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I building this program that using NFTs as a perpetual resource for causes. My model does not sell NFTs and gives a portion of those proceeds to charity. That's not how my model works. I use NFTs as the vehicle to transfer the finances through to create perpetual resources for causes because it's an asset.
Interesting. Can you tell us what that, expand on that a bit?
Yeah, I mean, being that I figured out with the IRS that NFTs are considered assets, okay, that's no different than taking your car, driving to Goodwill or to Best Buy, and you walk into Best Buy and you see this clearance section. You see this beautiful, 1,000-inch OLED TV on sale because it's an open box for like a tenth of what it actually sells for on the retail market. You go ahead and you buy that TV, you stick it in the trunk of your car, you can drive straight to Goodwill and drop it off. You don't even have to look at it. And Goodwill hands you a nice little blank piece of paper where you can go ahead and fill in what you donated. And which I don't know how they get away with that because everything you receive has to actually be documented, but they hand you a blank piece of paper. So I don't know how they get away with that, but there must be a loophole somewhere where
It's always a
it
little weird
allows them to do
that.
that.
So I can write anything on this, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I donated my firstborn, my cat, my ex-wife, and yeah, so you can go ahead and write on there, 1,000-inch, Panasonic or Sony, whatever, blah 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 TV, and manufacturer suggested retail price is XYZ, and there you go. There's your tax credit. And then I started thinking, well, okay, they also do it with art because, nonprofit organizations have live art auctions or online or in live where people can donate to a cause using art. Then I started thinking, well, shoot, I need inventory. So here I am with about, 160,000 net worth or about 186,000 net worth. And I'm going, okay, let's buy some inventory for this business model. So I went on Cardano, and back then I think we were buying NFTs off Discord. My very first NFT was a Linda Rowland pencil sketch, which was Woman of the Cliffs. In fact, if you want to look at my wallet on Pull PM, it's bit.ly /
NFT.
Yeah, bit.ly / CNFT vault. Simple enough. Even an old man like me can remember that.
Very good.
Here we go. And of course, NFT Rescue as the ADA handles as well.
Yes.
Another way to
I have.
Here we go. All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there it is, the very first one I bought.
Wow, very pretty.
And we see the mint.
And I mean, if you zoom in on that image, it's so impressive that it's actually is a pencil sketch, and that's what made me fall in love with Linda's art. I didn't know who Linda was at the time. I just saw this art. It was being sold on Discord. I said, you know what?
Linda Malouin?
Linda, yeah, from Malouin.
Oh,
exactly.
Wow. Cool.
CryptoFly.
Yeah, she's really good. Like, I feel like you don't even see her art that much, and it's like amazing. Like, you don't even see her, you see her in different capacities.
So I started going in, and there's another piece of Linda's there on the right, Woman in the Woods, I believe it's called. And but anyways, what I started doing as a business entity, I'm buying inventory that I'm going to use for my business model. And this is how I looked at these NFTs. I didn't look at NFTs as an investment because in reality, any real property asset, doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's real property asset, is only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. You can have a $1 million Lamborghini in the showroom floor, but if no one's buying it, Is it worth $1 million?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's like the
You
old
know that,
adage:
yeah.
if you close your eyes, does the world exist?
Yeah.
It's about the floor prices as well, you know, quote unquote
Yeah.
floor prices.
But nobody's
Are
trying to
floor
buy it in a
prices
bear
because
market.
no one's buying
Yeah.
them yet. They got
Well,
to go lower.
even back then, I didn't even know what a floor price was. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't buy these NFTs for the purpose of a floor price or whatnot. I'm on Discord bidding on these things.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
I started.
They were different back then.
Yeah, it was very different. We didn't have marketplaces. There weren't marketplaces. I think JPEG and CNFT. What was that other one? That CNFT store. I forget. I
CNFT.io.
haven't seen it. Yeah, that one. So, shards.
So, our boss, Mr. Pistachio.
Yeah, Mr. Pistachio.
Wait, is this where all those ended up?
Well, there's 10 of them.
Yeah, actually, no, there's more. There's another wallet with more of them, or not another wallet, but another listing of different ones, because those are fungible tokens.
Yes.
Below are the non-fungible tokens.
Well, let's see.
So there's more down below.
So these
Amazing.
are the fungible versions, huh? That's really interesting. Yeah,
token. Yeah, those I bought from Mike with the purpose of helping him support the recording of his first album.
His album, yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, so I reached out to him and I said, "Well, how many of these do you have left?" And he goes, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "No. I wanna be the one who funded you to record your album."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up buying all of them.
That's
I
awesome.
swept his floor.
That's amazing.
Other ones in there, you know, what I did, I was buying inventory based on the art to create. I'm a photographer, so I have some NFTs because I wanted to learn how to actually mint them. That circle of fire that's there on the lower left, the long row. So those are my images. That's my photography.
Yeah. Great. Exposure.
And there should be another one somewhere in there. That's called the big one, the dragon one. Where is it?
What's the name?
It should be right there next to it. It's called Dragon Heart. I don't know if you can search for the name.
I don't know if it's popping up. Dragon Heart. Oh, here we go. Great.
There it is.
Oh yeah. Wow. Yes. That dragon.
That's unphotoshopped.
Ha. Great. Wow.
That's unphotoshopped. So this gentleman here is actually a flame twirler, and I shot these images at the Laguna Beach Drum Festival when we were celebrating one of the supermoons. And they had the drum festival there, and all of a sudden this guy walks out on the water and starts flipping this fire thing. I said, you know what, let me go over there and start doing some rapid photos of this guy. And that was the very first one that caught my eye, because not only does it look like a dragon, you also have the heart in there.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, you know.
Oh, wow.
It does vibe.
And I've yet still to try and contact him or find him so I can share these images with him.
Well, I would love to know.
He got escorted by the police. He didn't have a permit doing what he was doing. So the cops came and actually escorted him off the beach.
Makes it even better.
Yeah, that does. That makes it even more valuable. I want to know how Snapbrillia and NFT Rescue are, working together right now.
Well, I went to the CNFT con, obviously, to get to know the community and to get involved, because, all these NFTs here, total, in fact, my accountant did my last 990 for him, and she goes, "Are these all your assets?" I said, "Yeah." "Well, can you send me the information as far as what they're worth?" And I go, "Well, maybe not as much as what they're worth, but I can tell you what I paid for them."
Yeah.
So when she came back, she goes, "You realize you have $186,000 worth of assets here?" I spent every single penny of my ADA. In fact, you scroll up, I only have like 59 ADA up there in that wallet. That's one of the 2 wallets I have left. The other ones are even less. I'm kind of happy that I did what I did, because now these are still assets. if I would have left that money in crypto, well, we know that story, right?
You would have
yeah.
been 90% down at this point.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right. So at least I kind of stupidly did a smart move. And what I did, I started supporting the project. So when I was at CNFT Con, I was very close with Alfred from the Cardano Hotel, the boutique hotel in Barcelona.
Yeah,
Alfred.
Spain, yeah.
Very cool.
And he actually went to CNFT Con to meet me. He flew out here just not only to do the CNFT Con, but he wanted to meet me. So we got together and we met. And through him, I met Fabrizio Shao, who at the time was with IOG. And I started commenting about my project, this and that. And for some reason, Fabrizio and I just clicked. We did a lot of things together during the con. He introduced me to a lot of people. But when I went to Fabrizio, I said, hey, listen, I got a business model that's going to shake up the NFT industry. It's going to shake up philanthropy. It's going to disrupt philanthropy as it is today. Philanthropies do not want transparency.
No, they definitely.
All they want to do is collect money and put up these random images of all the accolades they do. Mm-hmm. But they never tell their donors, this is what your 2 cents did. Mm-hmm. I wanted to change that.
There are good ones. It's just that the vast majority is like that.
The vast majority, and I'll tell you why. The IRS only requires nonprofit philanthropies to move forward 15% of everything they collect. Mm-hmm. As the minimum. So if a philanthropy collects, you collect $100, all I got to do is give away 15 of it. I keep the rest in my pocket. Well, put zeros on that. Mm-hmm. You know, look at, I mean, the largest philanthropy here in Orange County picks up about 20 million a year.
Wow.
And I've yet to figure out what they do.
Yeah.
Really, you even go to their website. I mean, it's forget what the website is, but it's Orange County Philanthropic something. Mm-hmm. And I just couldn't believe that. I said, well, no wonder these Goodwills are everywhere. No wonder there's thrift stores everywhere, like, mm-hmm. you know, Salvation Army and Goodwill and all the other brands that are attached to it. The St. Jude's, the this, the that. Shoot, if all I have to do is give away 15%, no wonder this world's where it's at. Mm-hmm. You know, there's no life change happening. So yeah, they show these little pictures here and there, but you know, the kid you're looking at that just got saved from cancer and is 5 years old, you're still looking at that commercial. That kid's probably 25 and has a job somewhere by now. You know, but you're still seeing that same reel going over and over again. And that told me, no, we need to change this. And when I started learning more about the cryptography behind blockchain, that's when Bitcoin and Ethereum and ADA and the token itself really didn't matter to me anymore. It's not about the token. It's about the blockchain, the development, and the platform. So when I was talking to... Yeah, so in talking with Fabrizio, saying, hey, you know, I need to find somebody who can really take NFT Rescue's business model and put it on a blockchain and develop this the way it should be and create algorithms to where it sticks in stone so that when I breathe my last breath 5 years later, there isn't a CEO somewhere skimming hundreds of thousands of dollars out of this program on the fly. So the more I can lock down with algorithms and blockchain, I'm protecting the foundational model.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's perfect. Mm-hmm. And that's when Fabrizio said, hey, let me introduce you to somebody. And that somebody was Nin. And I was able to sit down with Nin on a cold couch during CNFT Con real quick, and until we were rudely interrupted by this guy with a beard and a poncho. And he showed up.
He's always, you know, being a third wheel everywhere, you know.
I'm here trying to build a business with a developer, and this guy just showed up out of nowhere, you know. And we just had to get up and meet him. And fortunately, we took over the conversation once again at Rare Bloom. and we
Well,
were
it's kind of
able
like Bell's
to
combo
narrow
was
down the
blessed
stuff.
in a way. You
Yeah.
had a Charles appearance during the time that you were talking about this, so it just like was a sign.
Just makes sense.
Yeah.
Serendipitous. Yep. So without further ado, here's my head of IT development for NFT Rescue, Mr. Nin Tran.
Can we get a sound effect on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
board?
Yeah.
Here?
True story, man. True story, James. I mean, we met. I think it was first time that I went to the Cardano community like meetup conference. CNFT con was awesome. So many NFT projects, so many degens.
You
I
going
was
this
like,
year?
I even met a bunch of people that taught me that NFTs are really about community more than anything else, and supporting projects and artists. And somehow, when we launched the platform to help business owners, project owners, whoever, right, who has really world-changing ideas, who want to build stuff on Cardano, we started working with a lot of NFT dApps, right, like Tangent Art, who are doing NFT as an asset, similarly as James, but they're doing it just to stake and earn rewards, or artboards who are connecting NFTs with real world billboards to get exposure to artists and projects
That
on
is
like a real, like almost like Starbucks in South Africa for NFTs and for Cardano. And then I met James. Like you have Cardano ecosystem. It's huge on NFTs. There's a lot of NFT projects, but now you have builders and dApps that are coming up that support these NFTs that bring a ton of utility, like NFT Rescue, like James. At first, I just thought, oh, awesome, cool guy, right? Fabrizio, I was able to give out some tickets to community members, and when you give, people bless you back many ways, right? So it's just, hey, meet this cool guy, meet Alfred, meet James. Like, oh, cool, what do you guys do? And then we were able to really sit down. And when I was listening to him, to James, like, how's that possible, right? How can you take an NFT, donate it, put some cash, and double your tax credit or triple your tax credit? Like, why? How's that possible? Is that true? Is that legal? And just digging deeper into it with James, not just at the conference, but after that,
right.
we met like every 2 to 3 weeks, at some point even every week, to talk about, hey, how can we build this, how can we automate the different processes that he demonstrated manually, and he did tax credit manually. Now it's just a matter of taking the manual processes of processing the donation, processing the USD or ADA Cardano donation, and the NFT listing and resell, and sending it to this wallet, to that wallet, like all of that, to me as a builder, is pretty trivial. But the business, the understanding, the knowledge, and the insight of that, that James brings to the table, like, I don't own a ton of NFTs like James does. The only ones that I have is from buying tickets for people, to conferences, and sometimes Red Balloon sends me a ticket NFT, or NFT NYC sends me a ticket NFT.
Your
Um,
degen infection will take hold someday.
yeah, I'm ready. I mean,
I'll make sure of that.
I mean, like, like,
I'm gonna send you something.
yeah, all right. Shoot. Like, for me, part of this journey of partnering with cool projects and builders who want to bring more utility and just value, like, NFT Rescue is one of the most valuable projects that we are partnering with, because the stuff that they're doing, losses from rug pulls and so on, just by donating it and claiming tax credit. That's amazing.
We
Like,
need
who
to
thought
be
of
doing
that?
this.
Like, holy cow. So I'm learning as well, like, of course, right, through this process. We have, access to 920 million professionals globally, I can build teams within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and they have delivered and built and have help other project owners. So I consider
If someone comes to you with an idea, you can get together. You can fill all the positions for it.
See if it's feasible. Maybe if they are trying to build a stasis chamber or something, I'll be
If
like,
they want a chainsaw hand, we can probably make it happen.
like, maybe there's somebody out there, but it's not me. I'm sorry. Maybe I can talk to this person. They'll listen to forward it, forward. But if there's something that's like feasible, has a ton of impact, and can bring a ton of value for just people on the ground, right? Because this is not just about NFT project owners. This is people who really have cash and they are donating all the time, right? To mostly for the cause, but tax credit, not bad, right? And gets them, maybe like me, like James is onboarding me, and Ben and Aaron, they're onboarding me into the NFT world, right? By working with these projects.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a very lucky guy, and honestly, working with James, there's a lot of project owners you kind of work with, and they start really strong, and then they kind of like die off, right? As things are built and so on. Like we work with a lot of Web2 projects, and that's the case. Like I just want devs to build me stuff. Thanks, Nick. Like awesome, cool. We can help you with that. But with the Web3 founders, especially with James, right? His passion is something that excites me to meet with him every week, every 2 weeks, because even though there are challenges in life, like ADA crashed, we got so many things coming FTX like in the past year and a half. Like he has gone through personal challenges as well, right? And just to have his dedication and love for what he's doing, and just to dedication to his vision, right? To support
Going's good. We can relate to that.
I would support those projects any day, right? And he's also an example of somebody who does what he preaches and what he tried to build, right? I didn't understand. He's like, yeah, I put 220K into NFTs. I'm like, cool. All right. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Right. But on the other side, they're project owners, they're artists, there are people who are marketing these projects. They're paying rent or, just making do. And so, that makes me want to believe him and partner with him and support him in any way that we can. So that's long story short.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty clear proof that you're in it to support people, putting that kind of money down. And,
well, that's the idea. I mean, my second wife, when I got remarried, I had a child with her. And when our child was 5 years old, at that time I was working for the Ritz-Carlton organization up in San Francisco. My wife was a comptroller CPA living in Denver, Castle Rock. We met here in Orange County, and I had my two daughters, going to school in Orange County for my first marriage. She had two daughters from a previous marriage, and we had a daughter together. And in the course of our daughter when our daughter turned 5, my wife passed away from cancer. We fought it for about 5 years. Didn't quite work out the way we wanted it to. And I became a single dad with my daughter. And my wife told me one thing, and once when you die, and the second time you die is when the last person alive forgets who you were. And when she told me that, I said to myself, okay, we need to build a legacy here. We need to do something that can carry on far and beyond a lifetime. And that's kind of the root or the foundation of NFT rescue, and why it's so important to instill these algorithms on the beautiful blockchains, technology, cryptography that we have, is that we can create a business, we can create the flow, we can create the business model, and it can run on its own. It's totally, and now AI is coming into the picture. I can only imagine the thoughts that go through Nin's mind going, well, how can we turn this into an AI system in the future? There's a lot of things we can do as technology grows. We can grow with it, and that's the beauty about this business model. It's not cut and dry that it has to be done a certain way, as long as it provides the end result. And they're like the old adage, there are more than one ways to skin a cat, right? So we can go and apply all kinds of new technologies after those foundational algorithms are in place that will not disrupt the core of the model. Yeah. If somebody later on down the road wants to invent something else that can be added to the model, by all means, add to it the model. And then it goes from there. And,
how can,
yeah.
Well, my question was, how can folks support you and be involved in this now?
Vote for our Catalyst project. That's we just launched a Catalyst project thanks to Nin and his amazing writing team. Right. I mean, there were you put like 4 or 5 people on this team, did you not? There's like 4 different, I threw out what the model was, and then the team would go and actually turn it into an understandable language that the community can understand. And that's what he did. And I started tearing up and getting like all these like weird feelings going every time I read that proposal. I'm going, oh my God, what did I do here? Is this really what I did? I can't believe seeing, one thing is to think about something, and one thing is to read it in black and white, and one thing is to see it implemented, with your own eyes. Right now, I developed something which was a vision and an idea. Great. Now I got to read it in black and white on paper, and I'm going, wow, I created a monster here. I can only imagine the emotion and the feeling I'm going to see when it actually changes lives and it's put into implementation. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a perfect marriage because I don't have the ideas, right, that James does. I'm not I give and I donate, right? But James lives in our world. He has the expert in deep understanding of running a nonprofit, receiving donations, supporting other nonprofits and other causes. You've demonstrated, proved it, that it's real, it works. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's kind of, asking James pointed questions, really, and then him putting his thoughts on paper, mm-hmm. and then just, having my team that I mentor to polish that proposal, from my understanding of how voters vote and what mm-hmm. they look for, and how proposals can be just made simple and clear for average reader mm-hmm. to understand. Because geniuses sometimes, right, they ramble on and on and on, and they have a lot of really cool, crazy ideas and speak in theory. So just being able to digest what a lot of these abstract concepts and how they work into simple and clear terms, and build mm-hmm. excitement for our community to read. Like when I joined Catalyst in Fund 8, people have accused me of being professional grant writer, and I'm like, dude, that's my first proposal that I've written in my life ever.
Right.
So, and I'm glad that proposals on Catalyst are getting better. They should, mm-hmm. right? They should. Yeah, but it's also about balancing, like, what you promise to what you can deliver. Right. That's really important.
You get a lot of proposals on there that maybe are kind of actually impossible if you really don't know what you're talking about.
To be intellectually honest, like, what are we promising and what can we deliver? And that's also the conversations I have with James. Like, any engineer that you talk to, hey, I want this product today, yesterday, why is it not out? Mm-hmm. Like, mm-hmm. and they'll tell you, well, give me like a couple more months. So what if we have those conversations ahead of time? Like ask the engineers what is possible, what is the real timeline, right? And get them to commit to the resourcing as well as to the implementation timeline and so on. So a lot of non-technical founders or projects, they don't have that resource. And I think in this case, it's just a perfect partnership.
Now, when Nin mentioned, that I've implemented it and I've used it and I've showed him how it works and the results that it's given, I don't have the capability. Well, maybe I do share. Well, I don't. I'm not really tech, and I don't want to mess this up. But Nin, is there a way that you can share the link to the proof of donations that I have on my Twitter? That link we put on the proposal, or can you go to the proposal and show them where that link is?
Actually,
I'd like you guys to see, because I did brick and mortar. What do you call it? Not brick and mortar. I did real world beta tests. Not using the software, but I did real world beta tests on how this program works.
I think it's NFT Rescue, right? On Twitter.
Well, it's on Twitter, but you have to do it on the mobile app because the desktop app doesn't have that magnifying glass, at least not on mine.
Is it?
But the link is in the proposal.
I have the proposal up, I believe.
Got it here. And I'm actually adding the link to the proposal
Here's a link
to the video description as well. So it will be down there. I don't know if it's there yet, but it's coming.
If you can share that link I put in the chat, Pete, that'd be cool.
Yeah, great. All right, let's see here. Proof of work. Great. All right, so I'm going to drop this. Oh, you got it?
I have the proposal up. I'm trying to.
I got this link.
Okay.
Oh shoot, I'm rugging.
And we've got it. And I'm also going to drop this in the chat.
Is this the link right here? Sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Great. All right, proof of work. Meet Emma competing with her rescue horse and sweeping up the awards. So far, she's placed in every class and is well on her way to compete in Scottsdale, Arizona. Changing horses' lives, changing everyone's lives. Yeah.
Wow, look at all those awards.
What did we lose? We lost you. There, you're back.
It's like Philip
end up with medals.
Right.
Michael Phelps in horse racing.
Yeah, I think I'm rugging a
put
little.
Them on my face. There's nowhere else to put them. That's great. First place, second place, fourth place. We got lots of places here.
That's.
Oh, and we lost him.
Wrong button.
Well, he's in a public place, so we can't fault him for that.
If you keep scrolling down, I want to show you what I had with NFTs. I'm sorry.
Might be the
because you're coming across like all digitized.
Yeah. You're coming through all right. Just a little bit of lag.
Okay. So there's a you're gonna see an NFT.
Oh well, we may not. We may never know.
The proof is also on the proposal itself. I think that James is talking about the Sal, the first NFT that he minted. If you scroll up, one of the first NFTs that he
yeah, I'm rugging like crazy.
Donated.
Oh,
Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay.
There it is. Sell art.
All right. So what are we looking at here with Sal art?
So it's or I don't know if you guys want to explain it. But I guess a quick into it. It says the NFT rescues first created this conceptualized its process and flow, and then beta test in early 2021. Sorry, 2021. This NFT raised $5,500 for a children's hospital.
5 million. Wait, is that million or thousand?
Thousand.
1,000.
Okay, well that's not as good, but we'll take it. Sorry, I'm trying to.
And then it says sell art CNFT. So it says the name of the NFT. And the cause received its funding, and the donor received their tax credit.
Great.
And Sal received their royalty. So kind of a win-win-win. Seems like.
So, what's the percentage of royalties on this NFT?
Well, on that particular one, I gave out 10%. I
Okay.
forwarded 10%. This was before smart contracts or anything that was in, so there's no royalties on those NFTs.
Right. Yeah, feel that.
But I took it upon myself to forward 10%, and it's
Right.
10% of what we collected as a donation, not what the NFT sold for, because the NFT never sold. It was used just to attract the donor.
Right. It's almost the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. It looks like there's a whole lot to dig into in this proposal. Like I said, the link is in the description below. So definitely check that out, y'all. We are coming to the end of our segment here. Is there anything else that you guys want to share before we close up?
Well, what I want to share is, the community, the Cardano community has embraced NFT rescue, but in reality, it's embraced me. And at the CNFT con, I realized it's a family. This is a family. It's not a cutthroat business entity competing against another business entity to take out another business entity. It's a community. And we're here to build together. And the beauty about it is very few people were in this community to get rich quick on the token. They didn't care less either. They were there to build their projects, build their developments and their businesses. And okay, if Cardano goes up to 20 million, great. Sure, that's great. But in reality, they're there building their futures. And that's what I really enjoyed about being in the Cardano community, is that warmth, that embrace, being able to support each other as a family, be there for each other when we need. And that to me was the biggest thing. So, I saw Charles at Rare Bloom and at CNFT Con. And every time I saw him, I said, you know what, Charles, I want to thank you for what you built, because you've given me the opportunity to create on this, which I would have not had anywhere else.
No doubt. Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. This was a lot of fun to really dive in and find out so much great backstory, so many lots of great stories. This has been really fun. Really appreciate your time, and I hope that we get you back on in the future as well.
Thanks for having us on. It was really fun too.
Yeah, no
and
doubt.
By the way,
definitely.
Rug.
I was gonna say the court decision this morning for XRP, huge deal for the whole industry.
Yeah.
Bright days ahead for sure.
I mean,
absolutely.
I feel like it was inevitable.
Keep fighting, keep building. See you next time.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. Awesome.
All right, everybody. Well, we're going to close the stream here. Thank you all for tuning in. And we'll see you next week for, now that's what I call TV at CNFT Nasus Volume 2, which is our 2-year anniversary show. There'll be awards. There'll be other things. It's going to be great. See you then.